This is INCRadio DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello.
Hola.
Bonjour.
Konnichiwa.
Ni hao. Ciao.
Annyeonghaseyo.
Mabuhay!
Welcome to Washington State.
Explore the sights. Discover new things.
Appreciate the arts, music, and food.
Travel to new places.
Meet the people.
Make new friends.
In other words, come home with us.
Come home with us.
This is INCRadio Seattle, Washington. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all members and listeners around the world. We thank you for tuning in for yet another edition of INCRadio Seattle, Washington. I'm your host for today, Brother Marlon Taduran from the local congregation of Puyallup, Washington, and we have a very exciting topic to share with you, yes, our viewers and listeners here today. On today's show, we'll be talking about road trip adventures. It's a very exciting topic. I'm very eager to talk about that with our guest today. But yeah, how do you prepare for a road trip? How do you make the most out of your trip? What are some of your favorite snacks and drinks that you want to bring along with you? Well, we'll talk about that and more when we have our discussion in our segment today. Also, we have our ongoing hashtag challenge. Hashtag. All right. So when you are in the comment section of the YouTube channel, be sure in the chat you leave the hashtag with your local congregation's name, and the winning congregation will be the one with the most hashtags at the end of the program. So I have a feeling that the battle of the hashtags is already going on in the chat right now. So thank you so much for your participation, and we'll announce the winners next week. Okay. Also, if you are new to the program, don't forget to catch us at incradio.org or on the YouTube channel. You can search for our name, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. So spread the news so that everyone can join us for all the fun we have here at INCRadio Seattle, Washington. Okay, let us introduce our very special, wonderful, amazing guest that we have joining us here today. If you could, brother, please tell us your name, your local congregation, and if you have any shout outs, don't shout too loud. You can if you want to, but go ahead and use this as a platform if you have anyone you'd like to shout out as well, brother.
Hi, I am Brother J-Rod from the local of Tacoma. Do I have any shout outs? Shout out to everyone that's viewing all over the place, all over the world, all the brethren and all the districts. Shout out to you all. Much love. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. And hope you enjoyed hearing me talk about road trips.
Yep. Awesome. That is the shout out that was heard all over the world by our brother J-Rod. We're happy to have him today on our show. Very excited to talk with him today in our discussion. But we also want those of you that are viewing online to be a part of the discussion as well. So we extension. Yes, we extend this question out to you. Have you ever been on a road trip? I'm sure most of us have, but if you have, what is some of your favorite road trip memories? We'd love to hear your stories. Maybe I have a couple that are already coming to mind, but we'll wait till the discussion to see if we can insert those little stories that we have on our road trip adventures, which is our topic of discussion today. But yes, if you could leave your comments, responses in the YouTube chat, and we will get to those during our discussion and share them with the other viewers. Okay, so here's the scenario. Before we get into our discussion, you're planning, you're getting all your snacks, you're making sure that the vehicle is ready, and we are getting ready for an adventure. but it's not just any type of adventure. It's one that requires the road, it requires a trip. Therefore, it's a road trip adventure. Trying to make this very exciting, and road trips are very exciting. Brother J Rod, when you hear the phrase road trip adventures, what immediately comes to mind?
Exploring new places and these wonderful experiences that you're going to be embarking on. I know a lot of people when they think about road trips, they think, oh, it's going to be, an extended amount of time. But truthfully, a road trip could be, my friends and I, we've called 30, 20-minute drives a road trip. If it's an adventure to a new place, it's going to be a road trip. We've had road trips that lasted multiple hours. We in high school. Sorry, I'm in high school. My friends, we would do a lot of random trip all throughout SoCal just for food. And the first time we did it was for the specialty boba place. I forgot where it was at, but because of that, we started referring to our road trips as boba missions.
Oh,
So
wow.
whenever we would be driving out someplace, like, oh, dude, we're gonna go on a boba mission. We're not getting boba. We're getting pizza. We're gonna get like nachos, burrito. But yeah, it's all about the adventure and just enjoying that type of excitement with your friends and the people you love.
Oh, I could really go for some boba right now. The weather's been kind of warming up here in Washington, if only for a day, and then it gets cold again. But
Yeah,
yeah, that sounds great. It's just having that freedom, being able to go different places with friends or family, finding out new things, or just going to some of your favorite places over and over because you love the food that they have there, or just like the scenery they have. Uh, Brother J. Rod, are you more of a driver or are you more of a passenger when it comes to road trips?
anyone that knows me knows that if I'm in the car, I have to be the driver.
Why
Um,
is that?
it's okay. It's a weird thing. I like the having the feeling, knowing that I can. Um, I gotta say, you know what? I have that control over what's going on. Type deal. I get very anxious as a passenger, and I also like the freedom of knowing that I could come and go whenever I want to. If that makes sense. Like I don't,
Mhm.
I feel bad if someone's driving me around, and then if I get caught up, and then they have to wait for me. So it's kind of like just less anxiety for me, which is weird because you would think the driver would have more anxiety, but I don't
More
know
things to look out for. Yeah.
exactly. But no, it's just I don't know. I just prefer being the driver. And it's very calming for me. Really weird for me to say, but yeah, calming.
I think I'm in the well, that doesn't make sense if I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same
Oh,
seat of the vehicle. Before I used to be more of a passenger person, but I don't know if it's because I'm getting old or something, but I get motion sick very easily if I'm not the one driving. For some reason, when I'm the one driving, I don't get sick. The only thing I have to worry about when I'm the one driving over long distances is staying awake. Uh, Staying awake can be quite challenging. What are some of your tips, Brother J Rod, of when you're in the driver's seat? How do you stay awake, especially on those long road trips?
good conversation is always a good way to stay awake. So whoever's riding with me, I always ask the default question like, "Hey, you staying awake with me? We're gonna talk." Um, if not, then like my musical playlist.
Mm.
Sometimes I'll time out drives based on how long will this album last for, and
What
like
kind of music would you listen to help you stay awake? Is it like something like high pumping, like I don't know, techno, or do you like R&B? I don't. I feel like R&B would put me to sleep if I was driving long distances,
I
unless you can sing along.
that's what I was gonna say. Like when depending on who's in the car with me, right?
Mhm.
We'll do normally my playlists are gonna be like 90s R&B, hip hop, and R&B, right? Some maybe old school rap. Lately, whenever my wife and I go on road trips, our default playlist now are musicals and show tunes.
Oh,
Like
nice.
three musicals in particular that we'll play back to back, and that's how we literally gauge out our trip. Like, okay, how far can we get before the end of this soundtrack? And then, cool, let's see. And then we'll like, okay, cool. So we have an hour and a half left, so we can listen to this soundtrack now, and it'll by the time we finish, we pull it. So it's yeah, it all depends on who's around, but mainly for me, personal preference, 90s hip hop and R&B, sing along to it. I may look like a crazy person to the people on the road, but
But
hey,
you, yeah, at least you're alert. And
exactly.
for me and my wife, when we're on a road trip, we're a bit nerdy. So like our playlist will be like video game soundtracks and like anime music and things like that. And even if we don't know the words, we're just humming along or just going doo 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 or something like
You know how I know that your wife and you and your wife are really good friends of mine and my wife? We do the same thing. Like the last trip that we went when we went to Spokane, at one point my wife said, "Hey, I want you to listen to this podcast." And it was a podcast about video games.
Oh
And she's
yeah,
like, "Oh, this will be interesting." And then she'll put on some kind of anime music. One of the road trips that we did, we were listening to the Harry Potter. No, I'm advertising here. The Harry Potter audiobook, and lately, actually, within the past like month, because of my long commute to work, I've been listening to either podcasts or um, books on tape, which is funny. I never thought I
Oh,
would do that because I'm not a big audiobook fan, but I was like, this is kind of
are
cool.
you into reading books at all or?
Oh yeah, I
Oh
love
really?
reading books. Yeah, whenever I had the time before, and I have to preface that when I had the time before, I
Hmm.
would read books. My wife is actually she made fun of me recently about how many books I have that I have never touched, but I have it out. And I'm like, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. But yeah, uh,
Is
yeah,
it like someone's like reading you the story? Is that like what? And because I want to get into that too, but I've never like tried it. Like I
it's.
heard there's other things too where you could like switch up the voice if you wanted to, or
I just started getting into audiobooks, but yes, it's just like someone reading a story to you, and it's funny because if you've read the book before, you have your own sound of how the all characters sound like, right? Because this
Mhm.
narrator now,
Yeah.
they put their own flair into it, so it's different. A buddy of mine actually, he just started reading for audiobooks, and he wanted me to check it out, and I could not stop. Sorry, bro, I'm not gonna name your name. Uh,
Wait, your friend is the one doing the voiceover,
he
or?
started doing it, and that's what got me into it. And I was like, it was just so, I grew up with him, so I was like, this is funny to me because I've never heard you read like this. But okay, sorry, super off topic. But yeah, that's a good thing to do on road trips. Everybody, audiobooks.
Well, we're getting some responses too for people's tips on the road, especially with staying alert. We have one from our brother Relly Rivera. He's saying he had a road trip from Houston, Texas to Sacramento.
Oof.
Wow, that's a long drive. Sacramento, California. And to stay awake, he said, don't forget your Doritos and rock music. And he also adds, don't forget to pray. So those are the three things you need: Doritos, rock music, and prayer. So I like that, Carelli. Thank you so much for listening in and giving us your trip. We have one from Sister Donna Sanchez. She says, road trips, Karui driving, me eating and sleeping. So she's a passenger.
Yes.
See, I'm with you too. A lot with the. It's nice to have a conversation with like your passengers, but sometimes when it's just like 3 or something in the morning, and you're just driving in like complete darkness, sometimes it's hard for the passengers to wake up. Uh, so you're just in a car full of people like sleeping and snoring. Unfortunately for them, one of my techniques to stay awake sometimes is just screaming really loud in the car. So it startles everybody, but it's like, hey, at least we're doing well and we're healthy and alive.
By any chance, because I do this on my end, do you do the whole thing where you yawn and near the end of your yawn you just scream really loud?
No, but I think that's a good combination because yawning's supposed to wake you up, but then adding the scream at the end, yeah, that gets the most out of that yawn. So
I apologize to Mrs. and Baby Todoron for any time that Brother Marlon does that.
oh, you're right. We have a baby now. I can't do that.
It'll be a very soft. "Ah."
Oh, okay. What else have we got here? So food is really important when you're on a road trip. What would you say is your go-to? So Carelli said he likes Doritos on his trips, but what's your go-to road trip snack or drink?
For me personally, drink is an energy drink.
Mm.
Yeah, I know they're not good, but I don't know. It's just it's very nostalgic for me. That's it. Placebo effect, whatever. Energy drinks, water for sure. Definitely need to have water.
Mhm.
For snacks, popcorn or like any type of like pistachios or like
Oh, nuts and
nuts
okay,
and seeds. Anything that has like a shell that I could break because that like kind of gives me some extra.
something to do. Yeah.
Exact. But with recently, my wife and I, part of our road trip routine now is we stop off at a fast food restaurant. Not going to name names, but it does have a clown involved to get fries. And it's the funniest thing. As soon as we get into the car, we know we're doing a road trip. She'll look at me. She's like, "So, nuggets and fries?" And I was like, "You exactly. That's exactly what we're gonna do."
It sounds like something we would do too. My wife also likes the clowns nuggets and fries.
Right? See, we're together. We're similar on this, man.
We should do a road trip all together.
All the same things. It'll be crazy.
For me too. I used to do the energy drink thing too, but trying to get a little bit more health conscious. So I usually opt out for like a black coffee or like a type of tea with not too much sugar. So I need that caffeine intake to get that get you a little bit more alert. And before I used to be before the healthy thing, it would be like soda and gummy bears because then the gummy bears I'm just like chewing those. I guess I could switch that out for gum, but it's not quite the same thing.
Yes.
Wow, this is a nice topic for a lot of our viewers too. They just keep coming in with the responses. We have one here from Sister Karina Hess. She says, road trip with the family with just one driver, po. All the other members of the family, four in our case, po, we all take turns riding shotgun to keep the driver awake. Shotgun is a term for those of you that aren't sure, for other viewers around the world. That's the one that's in the passenger seat right next to the driver in the front. So yes, they take turns keeping the driver awake and entertained. So yeah, that's a good trip. Good advice. If you have a lot of people in your car, you can make the rotation, and it's kind of like a baseball game. And you put in a fresh player to wake up the driver. So thank you, and that's coming all the way from #Federal Way. Awesome. Okay. Wow, this is going by so fast. Let's do a couple more questions here. Okay, so safety is very important. So what emergency items do you think every road tripper should carry in a case? Do you have something like that in your car? And if not, what do you plan in the future in packing into your car?
Okay. So now you hit me with those hard questions. Safety. Definitely. First off, before you go on any trip, right? Like an extended trip, making sure that your car is in good working order already off the bat. That would be a very important thing to do. And like Carly said, prayer, right? Just to make sure it's good. But of course, we don't know what things might happen. So definitely having, we have an electric, like one of those like electric air pumps. So in case
Oh yeah.
we need a emergency fill up our tires, we got it. We have tire
Mm-hmm.
gauges. I know that some people might bring like an extra can of like gas just in case, right? They need a like
Mm-hmm.
they run out, depending on where it is. Um, Other than that, I have a fully charged phone to call whoever I need to help me out. AAA is a great roadside assistance.
Yeah,
Shout
I
out
had to do that
roadside
myself a couple
assistance,
times. Yeah.
right? Um, but yeah, there's all these different things, and ideally, whenever I've done a very long extended road trip, for example, the one I drove up here from California, I mapped out the the trip already, so that way I could do periodic stops just in case if anything happens, or I could check up on anything. Uh, just I'm trying to make it to point from I'm trying to make it from point A to point B safely. So
Mhm.
might as well, if it's even if it's going to add a few extra hours to my trip.
That's some good advice. Sometimes when you're the driver and you get kind of like that tunnel vision, like you just want to go straight to the location area. But yeah, it's good to make those stops so that you can, like you said, check up on the car. Uh, and it's also good for your own self and well-being. You can stretch, um, bathroom break. I tend to have to use the bathroom quite a bit, so stops have been really big lifesavers on road trips. Oh no, I just remembered a story too, but I'll let you continue, brother Jay.
Oh no, that's pretty much it. Having those places to stop and check in, and like, so that way you can get anything so that we didn't have available, or like if there's anything that happened within the drive, we could already address it without having to wait longer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's good. You never know what's gonna happen on the road, and just having those pit stops and making sure everything's okay. That it really goes a long way. It could, uh, like you said, maybe you might lose a little bit more time, but using the preventative measures, you might be actually saving time in the long run from a much bigger problem. So I like that. We're still getting a lot of responses here in the chat about road trips. Sister Donna Sanchez says road trips with lots of snacks. So she likes snacks on her road trips. Um, let's see. Sister Sherelle from the congregation of Tacoma. She says road trips are so fun. My favorite one was when we went to Cali for the 50 years in the West. Yes, I remember that one. I was the one driving. Brother, why is there a long stretch going on Interstate 5 where it becomes terribly dark and it's like the incline is really bad and swervy? That was probably one of the scariest roads I've driven on in my life. I think
I,
that was like going into California from the north. I don't know if you've driven that stretch before.
I drove it when I was coming up here from Cali. I wish I had an answer for that, but I don't. I don't know why it's right there, but yeah, no, there's like especially like in California, there's a lot of these really long stretches with like no lights, nothing, and that
Yeah.
is when to what we were talking about earlier, having having passengers to help keep you awake or something to keep you um, occupied is very helpful because I've
Mhm.
done a lot of those trips late at night, early morning, and because it's so dark and like straightforward, it gets very tiring very
Yeah.
fast. Yeah. So, uh, a funny thing, a short story on that. One time back in SoCal, you know, my myself and the district committee officers, we did a visitation to the Brethren in Las Vegas,
Ooh,
and
wow, that's a
so
drive.
yeah, so we it was about like what a 4 or 5 hour drive, and it was a quick like 1 day trip. So we met up like at 3 4 o'clock in the morning, and then drove out did the visitation throughout the day, and then we left like around 8 p.m. Had to come back. So we had to endure those that stretch twice within a 24-hour period.
Oh,
My best friend, he was driving, and I was like, you know what? I'll stay awake with you. I was the designated conversator, the radio
mm,
DJ. I was the
mhm.
snack provider, to the point where I was like cutting up a sandwich for him to eat. While I was like, "Can you do this?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I got you." Um, he did it. I was like, "Okay, cool." But yeah, it was a trip. But yeah, those long stretches are not the
It's
best.
not easy. Yeah.
They're not easy.
One of the perks of road tripping here in Washington, there's a lot of scenery. Uh, you get to see like the mountains and the like trees and all the nature. Uh, I'm so bad. I remember one time we were traveling towards Eastern Washington in Spokane, and we went through Snoqualmie Pass. It's a like a high elevation mountain pass, and it was, I believe it was during the winter, and I was younger at the time. I couldn't drive yet. My mom was the one driving, and it was just like a snowstorm happening at the pass. And I don't know why I thought it'd be a good idea, but the music I started playing while she was driving through the snow pass was intense, epic sounding, scary video game music, and she was gripping the steering wheel so hard and she's like, "Why are you playing this?" And like she was getting so scared on the road. But we made it fine. It made it for a very exciting drive. But yeah, if you're with your parents, I don't think that's a good idea to do to your parents if they're driving in that kind of weather. But it was a memory that I have from driving. Wow. Okay. Uh, I think we have to end our discussion right there. I didn't realize the time. We'll go ahead and go into our CFO in action, which is going to be led by me today. So I'm in action right now. Okay, so for our past activities, June 21st, we have the Unity Games flag football at Fort Nugent Park. Lots of footballing and flag pulling at that activity there. We also had the June 22nd Binhi board game night at Kent at the CWS Hall. So they had a lot of board gaming going on there. Just adding ing makes it into a verb, I guess. uh, we also had our June 22nd district baptism at Seattle, the local congregation of Seattle at the chapel at 6 p.m. And for future activities on June 28th, wow, that's today, in Everett, they have their CFO Family Fun Day at Whirly Ball. I haven't tried Whirly Ball. Have you tried that, Brother J Rod?
I've never heard of whirly ball till right now.
Oh,
So
we gotta make a road trip to Everett
let's
and
road trip to Everett and play some whirly ball.
play some whirly ball. That's going on right now as I am talking. So I hope they're having fun up there in Everett. And before we go, we will have a cliffhanger statement. And this is, what is your go-to spot for a summer picnic? We're talking about picnicking next week. So if you like picnics, baskets and meats, charcuterie boards, juices, I don't know, picnics, don't miss it out on next week's program. It's going to be a lot of fun. The essentials of picnicking. Okay. With that said, we are going to conclude our program for today by saying a special thank you to Brother Eduardo Manalo, our Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Manalo, our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Emil Regino, our District Minister, Brother Relly Rivera, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Chris Valdez, our CFO Overseer, Brother Manly Andaya, our Executive Producer. The listeners, thank you so much for listening today with us. And the INCRadio tech crew, without all this, none of this would be made possible. So thank you so much and have a great day to all. This is INCRadio Seattle, and we will see you later.
This is INC Radio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia